In this video, I want to go over everything Nintendo announced during E3 2019. You guys may have seen my recap of E3 2019, and I was kind of harsh on Nintendo, but honestly, I didn't realize how many games are actually coming out on the Nintendo Switch in 2019 and in early 2020. So in this video, I'm going to be trying to cover as many games as possible when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. So let's start off the video with this month because we got two pretty exciting games that are coming out in June of 2019. So let's first start off with Super Mario Maker 2. Super Mario Maker 2 is dropping at the end of this month, and holy smokes, does this game look like it's going to be a fantastic game. I love everything about this game. If you're a fan of platformer style games, if you're a fan of Mario, or if you're a fan of Super Mario Maker 1, this game I feel like is definitely going to be easily worth every penny of $60, and holy smokes, it looks like it's going to be an amazing game. And that is one game also that when you buy the full package for Super Mario Maker 2, you're not actually going to be getting everything the game has to offer. I'm assuming just like Super Mario Maker 1, Nintendo is most likely going to keep updating that game for a couple of years. So if you want to buy that game, just know you'll be getting content throughout the year most likely, and that game's shaping up to be one amazing game that is going to be the next big Nintendo game when that drops later this month. And then the next game that is coming out later this month is a game that a lot of people are excited for. I'm talking about the game My Friend Pedro. My Friend Pedro definitely looks like it's going to be a game that's going to be an amazing game to play if you're into indie games or if you're into the Nintendo Switch. Overall, this game definitely looks amazing. I love the mechanics of the game. I love the slow motion effect of this game. I love the gun gameplay of this game. Overall, this does feel like a game that I would personally be interested in, and I know so many other Nintendo fans are looking forward to My Friend Pedro when that drops later this month as well. That game is only like about a week away from launching at this point, so that's some very exciting news that My Friend Pedro is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And then in July, we do got some pretty big bangers when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. First off, let's start with one that's a little bit less important, but I still feel like it's an important game to the Nintendo Switch. I'm talking about Dragon Quest Builders 2. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is dropping on the Nintendo Switch later next month, and holy smokes, does that game look like it's going to be a very fun game. If you ever played games like Minecraft, or if you ever played action RPGs and things like that, I feel like this game is definitely going to appeal with you. Think of Minecraft but with RPG elements and action RPG gameplay into the mix. That's pretty much what Dragon Quest Builders 2 is, and I actually heard a lot of people actually love Dragon Quest Builders 1 when it dropped, so this game looks like it's going to be an important game to the Nintendo Switch. If you're a Minecraft fan, if you're a building fan, or if you're an action RPG fan, I think there's something for everyone when it comes to Dragon Quest Builders 2, and it's some very exciting news that Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now the next one that's pretty big, I feel like a lot of people are excited for when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, definitely has to be Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is dropping on the Nintendo Switch later next month, and holy smokes, does that game also look like it's going to be an amazing game when that game drops next month. If you're a fan of Diablo, if you're a fan of action RPGs, if you're a fan of dungeon crawlers, or if you're a fan of any of those type of games, I feel like this game is really going to appeal with you, especially also if you're a Marvel fan. If you're a Marvel fan, I feel like this game is going to definitely be a game for you, and oh my god, this game definitely looks like it has a lot of quality, and props to Nintendo to actually make this game an exclusive game to the Nintendo Switch. So that's very interesting to know that you can only play this on the Nintendo Switch. But yes, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is dropping later next month, and this game looks like it's going to be an important game to the Nintendo Switch. And the next game, of course, that is coming out next month that a lot of people are so excited for, this is going to be the next big Nintendo game period, is going to be Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fire Emblem Three Houses is definitely coming out next month, and holy smokes, does that game look like it's going to be shaping up to be one badass game. If you love tactical RPGs, grid-based RPGs like some people like to call it, or if you love the Fire Emblem universe, or if you want to jump into Fire Emblem for the first time, I think this game is going to be an example of one of those games that's going to be flat out an amazing game, and it's going to be so good when this game actually comes out. I like the art style of this game. I definitely like the gameplay of Fire Emblem. I'm definitely into tactical RPGs or grid-based RPGs, which some people like to call it. Overall, I'm definitely getting very excited for Fire Emblem Three Houses when it drops later next month on the Nintendo Switch. So keep a lookout for Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is going to be the next big Nintendo game for next month. And then there is one game that is coming out later in the year, which I don't think a lot of people are actually talking about, but I wanted to cover it anyway. The game I'm actually talking about is Super Lucky's Tale. That is actually a Microsoft IP. It's a new Microsoft IP. I think it came out in November of 2017, but yes, that game is coming out later this year, and holy smokes, that game is a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it's a mind-blowing game or anything like that, but if you love 3D platformers, or if you love platformers in general, I feel like you're definitely going to love Super Lucky's Tale, and Super Lucky's Tale is definitely shaping up to be one heck of a game. Fun fact, if you never played Super Lucky's Tale, this may be the best version of Super Lucky's Tale for 3 different reasons. First of all, they are adding brand new content to this game, and alongside the brand new content that's never before seen on Super Lucky's Tale that was on the Xbox One and PS4, they're actually going to be adding the DLC as well. So you get the DLC, you get brand new content, and then on top of that, I do believe from fans, they did say this game is going to have a rotatable camera, because in the first game, the camera did follow you, something kind of like Super Mario 64. If you ever played Super Mario 64, then you guys know the camera does follow you. It does not have a controllable camera, but apparently for the first time, Super Lucky's Tale on the Nintendo Switch, when it drops, is going to have a rotatable camera, and that should fix a lot of the issues some people were complaining about in the first one, since you don't have a controllable camera. And then coming out in September, we do have some pretty big bangers coming out in September. First of all, we do have Spyro. The Spyro trilogy is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and holy smokes, again, the Spyro games are flat out fantastic games, and maybe you never played them on the Xbox One, PS4, or the PC when they dropped late last year in November, and oh my god, it looks like these games are definitely going to be worth your time. If you're into Spyro, if you're into 3D platforming games, I can confirm the Spyro games are great games. I did play Spyro back in the day, and I liked everything about the Spyro games, and for $60, or I think $40, excuse me, the game is actually going to be launching at. I think this is one heck of a deal for Nintendo Switch fans. You can bring Spyro on the go, you can play Spyro, and Spyro is one of those games that are definitely going to be a very fun game to play. So Spyro is coming out in September for the Nintendo Switch, and that was kind of like a shadow drop. I did not expect that to come to the Nintendo Switch. Sure, it's a year later, but hey, I'll still take it for the Nintendo Switch. And then the big banger for September is definitely going to be Zelda Link's Awakening. Zelda Link's Awakening is going to be the next big Nintendo game for September, and oh my god, that game also looks like it's going to be an amazing game when that game actually comes out on the market in September. If you ever played the Game Boy, if you ever played Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, then you'll know that game is flat out an amazing game. I love everything about that game. I love the new art style of the game. I love the fact that now you can actually build your own dungeons, kind of like a dungeon creator in the game. Overall, this game is definitely shaping up to be one of those games that I think a lot of Zelda fans are going to go to, a lot of Nintendo fans are going to go to, and oh my god, the one problem I do have with Zelda Link's Awakening coming out in September is the fact that there's going to be a lot of games coming out in September, whether it's from Nintendo, whether it's from Microsoft, whether it's from Sony, or whether it's from third parties. There are just so many games coming out in September. September is definitely going to destroy your wallet. I can definitely admit that. So be ready for September. When September comes, if you're a gamer, your wallet is going to be destroyed. And then coming out in quarter 4 of 2019, the big hitter for quarter 4 2019 is definitely going to be Luigi's Mansion. That's one of them, and Luigi's Mansion definitely looks like it's going to be taking Luigi's Mansion 1 and Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon to a whole new level, and oh my god, I'm actually really excited for this game. I also love the fact that in Luigi's Mansion 3 you can actually play as Gooigi, and that actually seems very fun to play as Gooigi. They're also going to bring back the multiplayer. It looks like this game is going to be a flat out blast to play when Luigi's Mansion 3 drops later this year. It looks like it's dropping quarter 4, so it looks like it's going to be dropping October, November, December. Unfortunately, that is one game we don't have a concrete release date of, but we do know it is coming later this year in 2019, so take a look out for Luigi's Mansion 3. Now the next one that's kind of important but not too important is definitely Panzer Dragoon. I know so many people are excited for Panzer Dragoon remake. If you never played Panzer Dragoon back in the day, a lot of people like that game, and it looks like that game is coming to the Nintendo Switch, so that's some very exciting news that Panzer Dragoon is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And fun fact about Panzer Dragoon is actually one game, if you were to buy the original copy of Panzer Dragoon, it's just too expensive for what it is. So maybe now, if you never had a chance to buy it, since the market on that thing is crazy ridiculous when it comes to the prices of that game, now is your chance to actually play Panzer Dragoon. And Panzer Dragoon does look like it's going to be a beautiful game when that game comes out. I'm sure not everybody's going to go crazy for Panzer Dragoon, but I did have to throw that in the mix because, come on, if you're a gamer or if you love Panzer Dragoon, then you're definitely excited for Panzer Dragoon, and people are generally excited for Panzer Dragoon. Now the next one that's going to be super big for the Nintendo Switch, without a doubt, is definitely going to be Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pokemon Sword and Shield is definitely coming out in November, and holy smokes, is that game definitely going to be worth $60. So many people are excited for that game, the direction of that game, the way the world looks, everything about that game. That game is going to destroy your wallet, and that game is going to be a flat out an amazing experience when that game drops in November of 2019. Holy smokes, what can I say? It's Pokemon, but it looks like this is going to be the best Pokemon, not just because it's the latest Pokemon, because for the first time we are getting a true console experience Pokemon. We never had a console Pokemon. All Pokemon games have been on some type of handheld from Nintendo, so it is going to be the first one you're probably really going to want to buy, even if you're not somewhat of a Pokemon fan and you don't go out of your way to buy them all the time. This game looks like it's going to destroy your wallet, and it's going to be the next big game period for the year, and oh my god, it looks flat out amazing. What else can I say about Pokemon Sword and Shield that hasn't already been said about this game? This game is going to be an amazing game. Now the next one on the list, which we did not have a confirmation date on, but I did already cover on the channel, is the fact that The Witcher 3 is coming out to the Nintendo Switch. Although The Witcher 3 is coming out to the Nintendo Switch, and we already know this for a factor, I've already covered it on the channel, and a lot of people already said this, is the fact that The Witcher 3 is going to be the worst running version of The Witcher 3, but that makes sense because Witcher 3, like I said many times, is a game that really does take a lot to actually run, and since this game takes a lot to run, of course it's going to run like poo on the Nintendo Switch. It's going to run at 720p in the dock and 540p in handheld mode, so it's going to look absolutely bad compared to PS4, Xbox One, and the PC. But I still think Nintendo fans are going to be generally excited for The Witcher 3 because The Witcher 3 is just one of those games that has so much content, and the world is just so big and so luscious, and it's going to be amazing to take that game on the go. If you take your Nintendo Switch with you everywhere and you pretty much play it non-stop everywhere you go in handheld mode, I definitely think The Witcher 3 is definitely going to be one of those games that you're definitely going to want to buy, even if it comes out at $60, because to have a game as big as The Witcher 3 come out on the Nintendo Switch is actually good for the Nintendo Switch. Sure, I can admit this game's not for everybody, especially if you already played this game or if you're a graphics whore and you really only like games that look beautiful. I will admit this is one of the best looking games of this generation, so to have this game come out on the Nintendo Switch is kind of a disservice to the game itself, to be honest, but just taking into consideration you can play this on the go, that pretty much makes up for everything when it comes to the graphics and the performance of this game, so it's going to be very bad. But yes, I'm so excited about The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt coming to the Nintendo Switch. And then we do have some other games here in the mix when it comes to the quarter 4 of 2019. Like we have Just Dance 2019, we also have Mario and Luigi at the Olympics and things like that, but those aren't too exciting. But now let's actually talk about quarter 1 of 2020, because it looks like we have some interesting games of quarter 1 of 2020. So let's start off with something that's a little bit small. Let's talk about Minecraft Dungeons. I don't think anybody expected Minecraft Dungeons to actually be a thing, but yes, I'm kind of looking forward to Minecraft Dungeons. Basically, if you don't know anything about Minecraft Dungeons looks like it's going to be a flat out an amazing game. It looks like it's going to be pretty good, and I'm very excited for Minecraft Dungeons. If you don't know anything about Minecraft Dungeons, it is a new game that was just announced at E3 2019, and it pretty much plays like any other action RPGs or dungeon crawlers like Diablo and things like that. If you're a fan of Diablo or if you're a fan of Minecraft, I think there's something for everyone when it comes to Minecraft Dungeons, and honestly I'm very curious to see how this game is shaping up, how this game is actually going to play. And on top of that, I wonder if this game is going to have crossplay, because as you guys know, Microsoft and Nintendo have a really close relationship right now when it comes to IPs, when it comes to crossplay and things like that. So I would assume that would play in the mix, and it looks like it's going to have online multiplayer as well. So you can play with people online, you can play with people offline. It's going to be very exciting when this game drops. Even though it's a Minecraft game, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can get into this because it is an action RPG at the end of the day, or a dungeon crawler. So Minecraft Dungeons is coming 2020. Some very exciting news. And then another one that is dropping on the Nintendo Switch, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to, is No More Heroes 3. Now I can't really comment on No More Heroes since I never really played No More Heroes, but all I can say is with No More Heroes Heroes is looking like it's going to be a very good game, because that last No More Heroes game, I think the spin-off of it was an absolute dumpster fire, and a lot of people just weren't happy about that game. They said that game was mediocre or just okay, and a lot of people weren't happy with that last game in the No More Heroes series. But yes, No More Heroes 3 is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, so get excited if you're a No More Heroes fan. That game looks like it's going to be an awesome game when that game drops early next year. And then of course the one big one that is coming out next year for a lot of people besides Animal Crossing is going to be Trails of Mana. And Trails of Mana is pretty much a remake of the original Mana game. I forgot the name of it, but yes, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And Trails of Mana looks like it's going to be a very fun game, and especially if you're a Nintendo Switch owner and you love RPG, action RPGs, I do believe it is, you're going to definitely have a blast with this game, Trails of Mana. It's pretty much a remake of the original Mana game back on the Super Nintendo, and oh my god, that game looks like it's going to be an amazing game when that game comes out early next year. But the real big hitter, which so many people were going crazy over, was the fact that of course Animal Crossing is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and unfortunately that game is a game that did have to be delayed from Nintendo because, well, they just said they weren't done with it, and I don't blame them. That game is a game they want to make sure it's really polished and really it's really well done, so of course they had to delay it. It was supposed to be 2019 release date, but of course we did not get a flat out 2019 release date for Animal Crossing, so it is coming out I think March of 2020. So you can see it's pretty much right around the corner. It is still 8 or 9 months away, but oh my god, that game definitely looks like it's going to be a banger when this game comes out. They also did announce that we are going to be getting, I think, 8-player online when it comes to the online functionality of this game, but that looks like it's going to be an amazing game, and I get why so many people are hyped for the next Animal Crossing. This is going to be one of the first, I think, Animal Crossing games that's actually going to play in HD for the first time, so you're getting Animal Crossing in HD, and oh my god, this game really does look like it's going to be a beautiful game in the Animal Crossing world. It almost looks like it's going to definitely beat New Leaf altogether, so if you're a hardcore New Leaf fan, which was one of the best games in the series back on the 3DS, and you're definitely gonna love this game. It looks like it's shaping up to be a monster of the game. The actual name of this new Animal Crossing game is gonna be called Animal Crossing's New Horizon, or Animal Crossing's Horizon, and that's the subtitle of the game. And man, this game looks like it's going to be a flat out blast when this game comes out later next year. And that pretty much wraps up this video of every game or games that I think that are important that are coming out this year and early next year of 2019. So be ready as a Nintendo fan, because there's so many good games coming out on the Nintendo Switch this year and early next year that, man, your wallet is definitely going to be destroyed when it comes to Nintendo and when it comes to gaming. Anyway guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.